What's going on, friends? James Nguyen here with the Alpha Red Comic Channel. It is Sunday night, and we are going to draw. Thank you for joining me. I'm doing a little bit different setup. Like I don't know if you remember, like a year ago, I used to get on here and do, and I would always have technical problems. But I've become so comfortable with my setup that that I come up here with very little prep time, and I am paying the price for it today. I've got the other program being a little glitchy, so if you guys would please have some patience with me. Hopefully I don't throw anybody into seizures, because if the other program where I capture the drawing, it's like it's blinking and I can't make it stop. And I've been redoing the wires. I've shut everything off, turned everything back on, replugged in the wires, and I don't know what's up. So hopefully it doesn't glitch your brain as we take on Deadpool and Batman in the same sketch cover. Can you believe it? Can you believe it? J. Scott, can you believe it? What's up, James? Happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to you, J. Scott. Thank you for joining me today. Are you at work, or are you at a soccer tournament? So, but yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump in because it is two characters, and I don't want to jip you. So I'm going to add this to the stage. Bum, bada, bum. Make it like that. See, watch it. It's going to glitch, and it's going to make me mad for sure. And this is what I'm using as a reference. All right. So I found this on Facebook. Actually, I just Googled. I forget what I Googled, but it came up, and there was a link on Facebook that showed you how to do hands with a gun in it, and that was my idea for this image of Deadpool. So he was going to be like closer up front here, because it is his book. This is the Marvel version, so it's Deadpool Batman. Next month will be Batman Deadpool, so we'll be doing one of those, and so hopefully I can do what I have been doing, where I'm doing the pencils. I'm going to do a fairly light pencils, and then I got to pick which handgun pose I'm going to use. It either be like this one. I guess it can only be this one or this one. So this one looks like it's going to be closer to what I want, although it's not pointing close enough to the front. It's not pointing close enough to the front. So maybe I'll just kind of improvise where it's going to mostly look like he's going to the front there. Brother J. Scott says, work, but my daughter's soccer tournament is this weekend. Nice. Well, hopefully she does well. Coming in third again. Hopefully they move up, right? Move up in the bracket. Sometimes I know with my sons, as they were advancing in the season, people would start falling off. Like some of the participants, the families would fall off. Like they would start taking fall vacations, and they would start missing stuff. Well, it'd be in the spring with baseball. Let me see what this looks like when I erase it. I'm afraid like when I erase it, it's going to leave too much of a mark. And so, all right, that's not so bad. All right, so we're going to stick with what we know. We'll have this gun kind of sort of pointed our way for us to feel the danger. We got the little finger guard here. We got the thumb. We got how far does the finger go through? Like it's really just a tip. But anyway, so as the season would go on, we would do better. Like the teams that had full teammates that were used to playing together would eventually would have the best season. So I don't know if you have that out where you are, But that is how it typically would shake out for us. My sons both were on championship teams, if you can believe it. My older son, he had the same team for a couple of seasons, and they won 2 championships. We were in the championship 3 times, but we only won twice. And I think we were cheated out of that one, if I'm being honest. All right. So we got our Deadpool like right up close, right? Because he's our main guy for this one. He's going to be the main attraction. So J. Scott, I don't know if you caught any of the Charlie Kirk memorial, but I was surprised at how faith-filled it was. And I believe it's supposed to still be going on. I have it paused over here. I was watching it live for most of the day, but then I took it off. Well, I had to take off, pick up my wife at the airport, and so I am fast forwarding through the parts that I missed. But all of these politicians are coming up, and they are proclaiming their love for Jesus Christ. I'm like, holy smokes, man! And they said the death of the assassination of Charlie Kirk really has put Jesus front and center, because that is what Charlie Kirk was really all about. And I know that I knew that he was Christian, and I knew that he used Christian arguments in some of his debating, but apparently he was becoming more and more of an evangelist with his college tours, that it really became what some of his employees and partners were calling tent revivals, is what they would characterize it at now, looking back and recognizing that, he probably ruffled a lot of feathers of violent people because of his faith. J. Scott says, didn't catch any of the funeral, but I'm glad it was faith-based. Yeah, I mean, I was so surprised. Every politician that came up, and they all had they gave him credit for helping them get elected, because he took on the challenge of getting the youth vote for a more conservative, for the more conservative candidates. So, all right, that's pretty good, I think. Let's see, his forearm, you probably see his forearm over there. Just kind of hint at it just a little bit. And this would be his shoulder up here. Got the bicep over here. I don't know if you can see it. I can hardly see it, so I don't know how well you can see it. But we'll go in with the markers so that we have the markers laid down first. The colors laid down before I put the inks down, because when I put the inks down, it would it will then smear the colors underneath. If I tried to smear the inks, the colors would smear the inks. If I can talk and draw at the same time. All right. So, and I do like the new Batman costume, and that's the costume that appears in the comic. So I am happy about that. And so I will have him in his new Batman #1 costume, where they use this logo, where they're kind of revamping his look. I don't know if they're revamping his story. I don't know if they have reasons for some of his storylines to kind of change or become updated. But yeah. Benny Decker's in the house. Brother Benny says, not sure if it's on my end or what, but the video seems to be flashing. It is flashing, and I tried to stop it beforehand, and it really is the program that I use to show this. And I unplugged all the things, and I replugged them. No, I apologize. Stranger, brother Patrick Daniel, the stranger, has returned. What's going on, Patrick? It is good to see you. I was just thinking about you the other day, because I do owe you a critique on the portfolio that you sent me, and I keep thinking about it. It is overwhelming, like some of the things that I want to talk to you about, or I want to spend the time. So maybe we can schedule something, and we can talk it over. Like how do writers find artists, and what should they show them, what shouldn't they show them, that kind of thing. What are people looking for, and just some more nuanced stuff. And so every time I think about like what I want to convey to you, I'm like, it's going to be a lot in an email. And then maybe you as a writer don't mind reading a lot of words, but when I see an email with lots of words, I'm like, I'll read that later. I'll read that much later. But yeah, no, I am behind on a lot of artwork, a lot of things, because a work project came up and took up about a week and a half that I wasn't planning on. But work is work, and work comes first. It pays the bills. All right, so that's the layout. That's the light pencil. That's the hard lead, so the lighter lines. And I do want to go in with the darker lead and give it a little bit more definition on the lines that I definitely want to use here. Let me see if I missed anything. Patrick Daniel says, had to miss out on the last 2 weeks. Sorry, man. Glad to be back. Thank you. Welcome back. Brother Benny says, no apologies necessary. The art and the fellowship isn't hindered. Okay. Yeah. So I'm just worried about people who have seizures and stuff. I hope that it doesn't cause that. The Comic Relief Crusaders in the house. What's going on, Mike? Hail, dude. Hail to you, sir. Hail to you. Glad to see you here. So, yeah, the program that I use to share like this camera down here is glitchy, and it's my camera program. That's like if I just want to speak to the camera or take a picture of the screen. It's kind of a webcam type of thing. This camera right here is definitely a webcam, and it links into that. And so I don't know what's going on with it. I tried unplugging, replugging, turning off the program, all the things, and it's just it did not do anything. And then of course my wife had just come home from going to a homeschool conference, and she wanted to talk. And it's talky, and that's just as important as doing this stuff. So we talked, and then I was like, I got to do this. And nothing that I'm doing is working out with getting it to not glitch. So Mike says, finished a 5.5 hour draw stream. You did 5.5 hours, bro. That is epic. I gotta jump over there and check it out. Brother Shay's in the house. Zero Rights says, hi. Hello, Brother Shay. Brother Zero Rights. Josh Shay is a friend. You can check him out on Substack, is where we do a lot of the connection. So he is Zero for Hire over there. Are you, Shay? Let me know what you are over there. And Mike is always the comic relief crusader on most stuff. So I'll have to jump over there and check out your draw stream, because I dig the manga style. I think you're more manga style, right, Mike? If I'm not mistaken. So I am converting only in color and size Alpha Red into a manga-sized format, and I can't wait to show you guys the cover. I think I hinted at the cover art here before, but the final cover looks pretty amazing. Pretty amazing. Yeah, I apologize for the glitchy, flashy program thing there. Really, I mean, I can see it out of the corner of my eye because it's over here. The second screen is to my left, and then I can see it up here also on the main screen that it's glitching a little bit, or a lot of it maybe. But there's no other way to do it, guys. I apologize. So we're gonna try the latest style where I do the pencils, then come in with the gray markers or any other kind of marker I'm using, and then we ink then after. The inks come after so that the colors don't smudge. So if you're just joining us, if you haven't hit that like button yet, please, wherever you're watching, whether it's on Facebook or YouTube, please hit that like button. I've been hearing YouTubers who do it for a living. They're trying to analyze everything because all the algorithms have kind of changed. There's lots of speculation on why it's changed and whether or not they're suppressing conservative voices on purpose. Some people aren't even conservative, and they're noticing a change in how their views are, how long their views, how many people are viewing their stuff versus how much they typically get. And I'm just so surprised at how many views that some people get, like millions of views, and I've never heard of these people. So it's definitely a wide world out there. There's lots of people consuming a lot of YouTube out there. I don't know. It's not a measure that I feel the need to keep a track of yet. I mean, I don't do this for money. Just do this for fun, to stay relevant, so that when I come up with something, I can share it with you guys. Things that I'm working on, some things that I need support with. Mike makes his greetings with Shay, and Shay says, starting a new series in October called Support Our Savior. Support Our Savior on Apocalyptiverse. Okay, very nice. I am posting the pic on my CRC page. Okay, you have to unpack the acronym for me. CRC. Let me think. Comic. Nope. Community. Community. Something. Is that the community tab? The posts that you can put on there. I always forget to put the posts on there. I used to. Got a bunch of engagement, and then I forget when I started forgetting to add that component to the sharing of my videos, like the drawing for the video. Let's keep that. Let's bring his shoulder up. It feels a little unnatural here. I do want him to feel like he's a little bit more hunched over. So this is why I don't like starting from a blank sheet, because this sometimes takes up to 15-20 minutes just to get the composition down. You know what I mean? You know what I mean, Mike? The comic relief crusader. When you're trying to do composition, you're like, that doesn't feel right. Doesn't convey the amount of energy that I want. The mood. The mood. So you go back and you revisit and you revisit and you go, just a little bit, like duck his head down just a little bit more, shoulders up just a little bit higher to get that dramatic, the dramatic pose, slightly more dramatic pose. There we go. That's a little bit better. And then you gotta, if it's Deadpool, then he's gotta have a sword. Right? One gun, one sword. And if you're Rob Liefeld, you don't necessarily need to make it a sword that actually exists. It doesn't need any grippies unless you want the grippies, unless you have to draw the grippies. This would be Batman back here, because this is not his crossover. This is Deadpool's version. The Batman Deadpool will come out next week. I mean, next month. Next month is what my comic shop says. Funky Town Comics and Vinyls is what their original store is called. And they just opened up a new store in a different location, and they're switching the vinyl and the comic. So I think up in about 25 minutes for me, they opened a second store, and it's Funky Town Vinyls and Comics. I believe. With more of an emphasis on their vinyl, obviously. Their vinyl sales. They buy old vinyls, they buy old comics, and they love comics. And that's why I choose them over another comic store that is almost the same distance. Might even be closer to me. So, again, I apologize for anybody who's popping in and they're noticing the screen flashing. I will hopefully have that figured out by the next video, which I might do another video if I can get caught up on that Advent project that I'm working on. I'm currently working on image number 10 of 12. I have not gotten them all approved yet, so even if I get them done, I mean, I get them done, they might not be done. Let's go back up to see if I. Mike says he does understand how hard it is to do the composition, I assume. Al Nickerson mentioned that too today on the stream. Okay. Did you guys do a stream together, or did he have his own draw stream? Zero Rights says, can the gun be a sword as well? I don't think so. I don't think he has one that does that. I know I've seen it done with Travis Charest's Barons. I think he has something called the Barons, and there's like a gun sword thing. It looks cool. I don't know how practical that is, but he draws it cool, so it's cool. Mike says it could. You would just have to change the hand as well. Yes, about the gun and the sword. So I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Baron that Travis Charest has done, but it's super high fine art meets comics kind of thing. Patrick Daniels is saying hello to the group. Hello to the group. So Benny says, I haven't made it to Funky Town yet, but it's on my comic shop bucket list. They are great guys. Absolutely great guys. Love comics. They get you pumped for the comics that are on the wall. And they'll tell you, I don't know if they're blowing smoke all the time, but they each have their ones that they like. And so they'll give me a thumbs up, thumbs down. They kind of know what I like. They know that I'm a Christian, so they assume that I'm not going to like some things, but they'll tell me, hey, this was getting good buzz or whatever, and then I can decide whether or not I partake. But yeah. Mike says, saying hi back to Patrick. Shared the show on X. I appreciate that, bro. I appreciate that. Howdy, CRC. Oh, is that what you meant up here when you said CRC page? Okay, so the Comic Relief Crusader page. I gotcha. Yep. Together, I should have you on too. Absolutely, have me on. I'd be happy to jump on, and we can draw and talk comics, and talk everything else that you talk about on your channel. I know that you guys have varying interests, just geekdom. You obviously like Transformers, all that old stuff. What'd you think about Transformers 24, Mike? I don't know if you weren't around last week, and I don't know if I brought it up last week. I forget what was I drawing last week. Oh, I was drawing Shredder. Drew Shredder last week, and let's see, what should his cape be doing? Can it just be boring? We don't want it to be boring, right? Can it? We'll give it the old Batman flair from way up there. Batman flair from way up there. So, did you guys see that Jorge Jimenez started selling his pages for Batman #1? And that one page that they used as kind of like the main advertisement, where he's standing in the circular window, they were asking, I forget what it was now. It was was it six figures, or was it just some ungodly 5-figure number? So, all right. I think that's good. Oh yeah, the bat signal that I like. I'm digging this new bat signal. Bat chest. Is it a signal? It's not a signal. Bat insignia. Bat's insignia. Loving it. All right. I think that's good enough to start in with the colors. And we'll obviously use the red of Mr. Deadpool as his main thing here. But I'm just going to use should I use? Well, we'll use this for his eyes. So just to kind of cheat, to kind of outline some of the elements, we are going to use the gray markers as placeholder for where the inks will come in, or at least to section off where I'm going to be doing a lot of the darker colors, like so. Actually, I'm going to do this mostly black because I'm looking at Mr. Rob Liefeld's thing, and he's going mostly black with his when he draws it. He just has these weird, like he does like this, like a shine, and sometimes it works in some of it, but sometimes it does not. And so I don't, Liefeld can get away with what Liefeld can get away with in his art because his fans are very passionate about whatever Rob does. But not all of us have people that will buy anything that we put out and say nice things and defend you to the very death. Can I get away with this being the main thing, or is that really just drawing it? Let's go for a lighter one and see if that what was this, my 30% cool. Let's go with 30% cool over here. I just really want to wet the page with the marker so that it kind of marks it, kind of just marks it. Let me see if I missed anything. Yep, together. Dang it, I missed out. Missed out on? Not sure what you missed out on. Not sure what you missed out on. Yeah, I don't know if you guys were watching the Charlie Kirk Memorial, but felt like I went to church twice today. And it was more like a revival. It was very, very reverential. Very indeed. I had never seen so many politicians proclaim the gospel. And I'm talking like, obviously Pete Hegseth, I think, is pretty open about his faith. Tulsi Gabbard was proclaiming the gospel. Stephen Miller, I thought he was Jewish, but I think maybe he was just saying stuff about God. Was not Christian in nature, but really spiritual warfare and all the things that we don't typically hear on coming out of our politicians' mouths. So it was good to hear. And that was the legacy that Charlie Kirk wanted to leave, I believe. So that's how everybody knew him. Anybody behind the scenes just talked about, that's the one thing that he would always want to talk about. And that was the solution to a lot of problems in his when he would give advice behind the scenes, and used his college ministry as a platform to evangelize. So it was fantastic. I don't know if all those people are actual believers or they're just caught up in the moment and it's it's political expediency to jump on the Christian bandwagon as people are taking a look at Christianity. But yeah. So that looks pretty good. What do you guys think? Oh, you missed the Transformers bit last week. I didn't really talk about it. I forgot to talk about it because it did end, right? The Daniel Warren Johnson's run did end. I don't know if you're picking it up, Mike, but I loved it. I loved the whole run, and I thought the final issue was great. It was a good cap off. It wasn't as good, I don't think, as issue number 23, but it was still pretty good. They had one in our town when they started playing Amazing Grace on the bagpipes. I almost broke. Yep. I got glassy-eyed for that too. Apparently, his Scottish heritage was important to him, and the bagpipes were a request of some kind or something that meant something to him. So good. Now I'll rewatch the rest that I missed here. I watched pretty much the whole day of it. It was definitely felt like a worship service. Like Trump Jr. was sharing the gospel, quoting Bible verses and stuff. Crazy. Marco Rubio was, laying down the gospel, resurrection stuff. Just theologically pretty sound stuff in there. I don't know if speechwriters were writing it for them or what, but my goodness, it was good to hear. Refreshing. What do you guys think? Love it. This is starting to feel good. I feel good. That'd be dark. Okay, so I might even go all the way dark on his shoulder here, because then the black ink will do the rest of the rendering, right? So these are the parts of his outfit that are black. So I'll just make sure that I'll remember that I can that I should go back and ink the dark renderings of it. And this will come down here. This will go here. We'll make this shadow of the gun. We'll make the whole butt of the gun here. I mean the handle of the gun. Do it like Kabamski. And all right. So this sword, it's usually black handles. So we'll just do a nice long for the hand, the part that protects his hand, we'll do. Let's see if this shows up at all. This is 10% cool. It'll just make this look wet, maybe. We'll see. I've got other colors. I'm not a huge fan of the colored paper, you know. So all right, so that's gonna be that. Oh, okay, let's do like for the shadow underneath his arm, where we're gonna keep it still red, right? But we'll do like a gray red, and then I'll come back in with like a white gel pen or opaque marker to kind of show a highlight, show the highlight. Maybe I can get like brown. I don't know if the brown will show up there or not. I think this is also 30 gray, 30% cool gray. But that's, his arm is supposed to be red. His gloves are red. So a lot of you guys know that Alpha Red, his outfit is inspired by Deadpool, because Deadpool at one time was my favorite character after Spider-Man. But the Deadpool nowadays does not sound like Deadpool anymore to me. I think he sounds more like the Deadpool in the movies, which I'm not a fan of. So, so when I read this, when I was reading through the first couple of pages of this, I did not read it all. I started reading it, and it just sounded a whole lot like movie Deadpool, and so I just stopped. And Batman sounded like it was fine. It's just Batman. Just sounded like Batman. I am just gonna go all in with this 50% gray, because I'm gonna go in with the inks then, and really let the 50% be like the sheen or the shine, the sheen and the shine of it all. The sheen or the shine. Let's see what I'm missing here. They had one. Okay. Patrick Daniels says, looks great. Deadpool's right there in your face. Yes, as he should be. And Batman's in the background being jealous. He's gonna have his time to shine next month there, Patrick Daniel, when it switches and becomes Batman Deadpool. Well, look who decided to join us. Mr. Fong is in the house. What's going on? Alpha Omega Con needs an Alpha Red presence. That's what I'm saying. Have the guys help me out. They really should make a sketch cover variant with white paper. Yes. I don't know why they did the red. I mean, I do know, obviously. I mean, it's bold, it's whatever, and it's gonna work. It'll work. It'll pop with the white pen thing, this Presto thing. I don't know if you guys have picked one up yet, but that's what Jim Lee uses on his speed videos or whatever, and they look super cool. So Mike is saying hi to Fong, and Fong is saying hi back. So glad you guys are chatting it up. I appreciate that. So this will show the shadow, right? It'll show the shadow being cast. It'll still be red, but that'll be the shadow part there. And this is where you can throw in the nose part. Show that he has a nose, even though Rob Liefeld said in one of his recent podcasts that he just looks cool with no nose. That's why they don't always draw the nose. And who am I to disagree when they can sell millions of copies, millions of comics? Little old me, I just have my preferences, and I bought all those up. Todd McFarlane's Spider-Man with the nose all smashed didn't bother me. No actual nose. I do remember being somewhat bothered by it because I did like when John Romita Jr. started drawing Spider-Man. I really appreciated that he had a little bump for his nose. Like, okay, maybe I do prefer it. But I do consider John Romita Jr. He's higher up on my Spider-Man artist list than Todd McFarlane. Even though Todd McFarlane was the first on that list, and he's probably the second favorite. All right. Let's go with Batman in the back. So I do have, let me see if I can get the colors going on Batman in the back here. I don't know if this will show up or not. The Comic Relief Crusader says he's having fun. I'm having fun, and I'm glad that you guys are hanging out. Glad you guys are hanging out. So what else do you guys pick up? What else did you pick up? Did anybody pick up Deadpool Batman? Did you get excited about it? I assumed that people were going to be a little they had Deadpool fatigue and Batman fatigue, but my comic shop says that it was a barn burner. They had people calling in about it, asking if it was there, driving down from like 20-25 minutes away to go to pick up a copy, and they said they sold hundreds on the first day. So who are we to decide that we're getting too much Deadpool and Batman? If the retailers can sell it, it's really, he said the normies, the normie fans went kind of crazy over it. And when I pulled it out of the bag after I came home from the comic book store, my son, the 17-year-old, was like, "Holy moly, they got together!" And he was very excited about the prospect of it. So it's certainly not for me anyway to decide that Batman and Deadpool are being overexposed. If you can get normies excited about it and going to the comic book store to purchase said comic, who are we to poo-poo on the geniusness that is Deadpool Batman? Right? Geniusness. I also picked up Battle Beast. I was going to say Battle Chasers, but that didn't. My brain was like, that's not it. Don't say it out loud. So Battle Beast I thought was good. G.I. Joe was really good. I don't know, Mike, if you're a fan of all the other Energon titles from Skybound, but I found it to be pretty good. I mean, I wasn't a fan of, I'm not a fan of CoverGirl or the Baroness, but I like the Clutch and and Hound storyline. Digging that. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to make like the shadows. The shadows. I want that 30% cool gray. Having fun. Fong says, I like to have fun. I help my wife have more fun, and she helps me have less fun. I hope she's not watching this, Fong. Woo, woo. I have one copy of Deadpool Batman on hold for me at my local comic shop. Yes, it's pretty. It's you know, like I said, it's not the version of Deadpool that I like. It's more the movie version of Deadpool, and I like the comic book, the late 90s, early 2000s version of Deadpool much better. But I saw Thinking Critical video, and I'm not really in a hurry to pick it up. Yep, I know he had some reservations about it, but it's a good looking book. The Batman reads like Batman, but the Deadpool reads like the movie Deadpool, like Ryan Reynolds. So Comic Relief Crusader says, so far I'm thinking the Transformers G.I. Joe stuff, you're liking it. Yes. I like it also. Don't worry, my wife knows. I say that. Brother man. Too funny. Too funny. All right, so this is all right. So these are supposed to be, I don't know if I'm gonna leave them just with this color or go in and make it like black. Turn it black. But I am using a blue marker, as you can see, and I don't know if it's making much of a difference here on this red paper. So this red paper is, yeah. I apologize again for the blinking. Blinkety. Do I have? I'm looking for those other markers. The what are they called? Pacos or something like that, to see if I can get the flesh tone in there. Hang tight. Nope, can't find it. I think my daughter may have reclaimed it. It belongs to her anyway. Let me see. All right, let's see if I can't get Mr. Batman in here. What time is it? Ooh, let's see how fast we can get this bad boy done. I do need to get back to that Advent project, because it's kind of like the 800-pound gorilla that's kind of stealing all my joy. I do like how it's turning out, so I don't want to say that I'm not proud of the work that I'm doing on it. And when it is complete, I will let you guys know where you can pick up a copy. But for now, while I'm in the thick of it, I am not enjoying it as much. Let me see. See if I can use this highlighter again and get a lighter blue, a different kind of blue than the other blue. For the wangs, for the cape wings. Wangs. I mean, it doesn't do exactly what I want it to do, but it's just gonna have to do. And then hopefully when I go in with the inks, it's just gonna really pop. The inks and then the whiteout pen. Hopefully. So anybody else picking up Battle Beast? Battle Beast. Do you pick it up? Did you like it this week? It's definitely getting more gory. I think they're leaning into the gore. Like all the books that I liked are really leaning heavy into the gore of it all. And I don't want to share it with my son if it's too gory. So hopefully they don't lean too heavy into that. You know, I hate to drop a book because it's just so bloody, and there was more cursing in this month's Battle Beast, where there was not as much cursing up until now. So I don't think there was any cursing, to be honest with you. But in this one, there was. I mean, cursing for me is like they say the They say the bad version of what the heck a lot in there. And so, I mean, I don't typically use that. I mean, I'll say what the heck every now and again. I don't even say that very often because I know what I'm trying not to say. But they just go ahead and say the real thing in there. All right. Maybe I should have Batman's leg. Feels like he's kind of hiding back there. Give it the old Batman leg right there. Right there. What was I using there? Using the 30% gray, right? 30% gray in there. That's the kneecap underneath the kneecap. And then the normal blue marker to kind of get the rest of his foot in there. Yeah, so with some of the reviews that even Wes has, I don't always agree with his take. So I just wait. Like if I get excited about it based on what I'm hearing buzz on other shows, if I see the creators out there hawking their wares, I tend to want to give them the benefit of the doubt that it's going to be a decent product. Let me see. Get this up here. Color in that. That's part of the mask. And this would be his lips. So yeah, I tend to just give it a shot anyway. I did hear Wes's take on it. Folks says, I have higher hopes for the Batman Deadpool book by DC in November. Yep, I heard that. I don't know. I am looking forward to that more than I was looking forward to this. What the HE double hockey sticks are you talking about? Yeah, I had a had a what kind of, I think he was a history teacher, but I went to Catholic school all my life, and so that's what he would say. What the HE double hockey sticks? And we thought he was the funniest guy. He was like super duper old, Mr. Zubich. He would just ramble on about whatever. So he tended to like me, so I would just laugh at his jokes and stuff. Just laugh. Just laugh. And I would draw caricatures. And he was one of my one of the caricatures that I would do that everybody liked, because I would have like a Mr. Zubichism word balloon, and people dug it. People dug it. So the surface of this sketch cover is not liking my pens. Let's see if I use the 7. Does it like the 7 better than the 5? 7 better than the 5. It does not seem to matter. Does not seem to matter. Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Did you guys ever like that song? That was from the first time I ever heard it was that Bohemian Rhapsody? Is that from Wayne's World? Is that where it became famous? That's where I remember hearing it. All right, we're not gonna get too technical here. It is a sketch, so we're gonna go sketchy here. Let's get sketchy. Let's get sketchy. That sounds kind of sketchy, actually. Let's get sketchy. Just a little bit faster, a little bit more energy. Pure energy. And then we'll come back in with the thicker inks. I can see it blinking over there. It's distracting me. All right, I should have. All right. This is the reference that I was using for hands and handguns, and which one did I try to use? I was thinking of like this one-ish, but like I was pointing it a little bit closer to the viewer. Get it just a little bit closer to the viewer. All right. So Mike, you did a 5.5 hour drawing video. Is that something that you do often on your channel? On the old Comic Relief Crusader channel. We'll come in and do some big blotchy black stuff over there. After I get like the more fine rendering in here. just kind of, and I'll come in here, especially with the eyes here, and probably use the white to really make it stand out. Like 5 hours is a good bit of drawing. I mean, I'm jealous. I mean, I've been doing a lot of drawing this weekend on the computer. And if we had time, I'd show you what I'm working on with the Advent stuff. It's coming out pretty good. Very proud of it. Just kind of spoiled by the fact that my attitude towards it is bad, because I just wish it were done so that I could be drawing Alpha Red stuff or Brother Benny's commissions and do like extra videos. I would do some extra videos this week, I think. Once I get that other project done, I probably will take a little break before I jump into Alpha Red number 8, even though I'm chomping at the bit. I sketched out the cover, and it looks pretty fly, kind of fire. Funk says, what does the Funk says? Funk says, I don't always agree completely with Wes either, but we usually agree. I agree with that as well. Joker voice. Why so sketchy? Why so sketchy? You did. Is that the 5.5 hour marathon? I keep saying that I won't do a long stream, but it becomes a long stream. Yeah. So in the very beginning, I would just cut it off after an hour, because my wife, the wife is downstairs, and she wasn't in the beginning. She was not used to me kind of abandoning her on Sunday nights. Like, I would kind of be around, I would kind of not be around. I would kind of be just drawing downstairs in my favorite drawing spot in the living room with the thing on my lap. That's how I typically draw. I have a big drawing board thing that's portable, that I keep on my lap. But so I would stop it right at 9 o'clock, whether I was done or not. And then it became like she was used to me not coming down then, or not being around, so she would start other projects, and so I would come down after 9 o'clock, and she would be kind of just in the middle of other things and not pay attention to me and not need me to hang out with her. So it's like, you know what? We'll just finish up the picture as much as possible. And it's more fun that way. Definitely more fun that way. Definitely. And I didn't know who would want to hang out for more than an hour. That was also listening to her. It's like, who wants to hang out for an hour and watch you draw? I'm like, I don't know. We're just not all just sitting around. We're kind of doing stuff. It's kind of on in the background. And I just kind of meander through subjects. Sometimes you guys chime in, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you feel like a nut. But yeah, 5.5 hours. I think I did that once on a Saturday, early on. And I wanted to be drawing anyway. I think I had maybe a commission. I forget what it was. I went through three different drawings. So, is it me or is it getting worse, the flashiness? I can see it out of the corner of my eye that it's like flashing like crazy. Maybe it's not bothering you, but it's kind of throwing me off. But hopefully I can figure out what's wrong with it and fix it before the next draw stream. Nobody wants to go through ultra glitchy. That's where the shadow comes down. Shadow comes down. And that's where his outfit turns from black to red. And this will be an X. I'm going to just put an X there to know that when I go back, that will all be black. When I come in with the brush, hopefully I remember. Sometimes I forget. I'll just color it in mostly. And then that will irritate me so much that it's not fully colored in. So as to remind me to color it in. Methinks. Me hopes. Me hopes. So I am very much looking forward to Alpharetta number 8. I keep thinking about some of the scenes in my head. I don't want to. In my head, it won't take as long for me to do it, and then stuff always comes up, and it always takes much longer than my optimistic brain would like to think that it will take. So, all right, what do you guys think? Maybe I'll just finish up the Deadpool part and then we'll come back and do the Batman part maybe sometime this week. Probably take another 15-20 minutes or so for the Batman, but I can feel my wife waiting for me. It's because she just got back from a trip. She was down in Tennessee. Is anybody down there in Tennessee? Forget if any of you guys are down that way. I think I have 2 or 3 guys who typically watch who are in North Carolina. But anybody from Tennessee watching? My wife was down in Franklin, Tennessee. And she said it was a very nice town. She's very impressed. Very impressed. Get the shadow casting, like whatever this light is that's coming from over here, causing all the shadows. Get these the McFarlane lines in here for no reason. I miss some of the McFarlane lines. Like nobody did it like him. Like why is that line there? That doesn't inform any kind of form. Doesn't look like it belongs there. But yeah, that's what he was known for. Just a bazillion lines. Rob Liefeld says that the editors would make fun of him and Todd McFarlane because he would say, "We don't pay you by the line. We pay you by the page. So save yourself some lines and hit those deadlines." I thought that was funny. Yeah, I don't know what I would do with deadlines and editors and stuff. That's I think part of what I don't like about doing the Advent project that I'm currently working on is that it's not I'm so used to just me being my own boss, doing my own character, and I can kind of be okay with the image when I have to move on to the next thing. And they have a higher standard, the people who are paying me to do the Advent project. And so they ask for redos, which is completely fair. We talked about it beforehand. It's not something that is a surprise to me. But to have that hanging over my head just kind of makes me roll my eyes, because it's not something that I'm used to anymore. So all right, that'll be kind of some of that in there. Some of these lines in here, just for fun, Todd McFarlane style. Then go in here for a Will's Cretaceous Jim Lee style. A little bit of rendering down there. A little bit of contrast line up top here. Go in for the Dale Keown cross hatching. I mean, that's kind of what I liked about the 90s era stuff. Like, they were all kind of variations of this cool new style with the cross hatching and this up lighting kind of style, where you have that contrast line there. And you have like this rendering style that transitions from the non cross hatching side to the cross hatching side down here, where it's like a second lighting, which happens in real life, but for them to start using it in comic art was new back then. I feel like it felt new anyway. Let's put it that way. All right, let's go in with the brush pen, and then see if we can't call it done for the evening. Let me see this cool gray, and I'm going to drop this shadow in on this side to make it look a little bit more like the light source is coming in from here. Keep that like an uncolored portion of it there, so that looks like the light is reflecting in on that. You got light coming down there, like so, like so. And where's my brush pen? Let's break out the brush pens. So this is the medium. This medium here is the lighter gray one. There's a darker gray one that's the tip is like muy soft, muy soft, very soft. So you get the fatter lines. But this one is more of the medium. More of a medium stiffness. That's the word. The old stiffness. The old medium. And so I can push it harder and get a fatter line, but that's not always what. Oh, I forgot to throw in some more McFarlane lines all over his knuckles here. Hang on. Got some McFarlane lines on the knuckles and the non-knuckles. on the non-nucleals. And then this is where we can go kind of a little bit crazier. It won't allow me to go as crazy as I want to go. If I want to like just throw in a spot black, like right down in his neck here, that would require like the darker brush pen. So go in here and really darken in some of these spots to make it really look like it's part of the costume back in here. And then they go really, really dark down here. Give this side a darker kind of thicker line to kind of show that this is where the light source is coming from. I'll keep this over here just kind of thin, and then throw in some of those thicker lines down there to just make sure I get the black parts in, and see how close we are here. Hopefully I can get back on here sometime this week and finish up this bad boy. Finish up Batman in the back there, looking kind of lonely. Kind of lonely, unfinished back there. Don't you worry, Mr. Batman. We're coming for you. We'll save you. We'll save you. Get some more of this McFarlane mumbo jumbo. Lines for no reason. Lines, lots of lines. And then he would say, oh, people say, I love all the detail you put in there. It's like, yeah, I'm just kind of throwing lines in there. And if you're an artist, you're like, all he's doing is throwing lines in there. That doesn't show any kind of form. No reason for a lot of what he's putting down. But it was very interesting to look at and made me buy it way back when. Let's see if I can move this back here. Oh, I forgot his. Let's not forget his sword here. We shall not forget the sword. We shall not. Do I want a straight edge for this? I feel like I should. I don't know why. I'll probably regret it. I'll do the straight edge and then I'm like, yeah. Looks out of place because it's too straight. All right. Too straight. We'll see. We shall see. And then, of course, we should, light source is coming from this way. Let that shadow kind of drop over there. And we'll just freehand it so that it doesn't look like I used a ruler, even though I used a ruler. Kabamski. Look at that. All right, guys. We're going to call it an evening. I appreciate you guys hanging out. This is available on my Etsy store if you want it. I believe it's going for $45. And I will do Mr. Batman. That will be included in the price there. Let's see if hopefully I don't mess this up, right? Be like, oh, I'll buy it, cha-ching, and then Why are his eyes so white? I don't want it now. But we'll probably throw in some more white stuff in there. I'll have to think about it. I got time. We'll do it. We'll do it. We'll do it. All right. Let's see what you guys are saying, and then we will call it an evening. Okay. So Zero Rights says you should get a drawing outfit that you always wear around your wife just to mess with her, like a smoking jacket or something just obnoxious. Yeah, they're called Alpha Red T-shirts, brother man. She finds my my T-shirts very obnoxious because I have so many Alpha Red T-shirts. So I'm already doing that. So been through Tennessee a few times. Some lovely country for sure. She took a plane. So but we drove down to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee last year, and we'll be going to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee next year in 2026. I think it's April of 2026 for a homeschool convention. So I'm looking forward to that for sure. Patrick Daniel says, I go through Tennessee each time I go to Metropolis, Illinois. Is that where Superman lives? Superman lives in Illinois? Those eyes pop. Yeah. See, is it good or is it bad? Is it good or is it bad though? I think they're good. So we'll leave it right there, guys. And then maybe tomorrow, maybe sometime soon, I'll jump in and finish up the Mr. Batman in the background. So I appreciate it, guys. Thank you for hanging out, and we will see you next time. But until then, grace and peace. We are
from the shadows. He rises with courage in his heart, a beacon of hope. He's ready to start with faith as his armor and a fire in his soul. Alpha Red stands tall, fulfilling his role. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Red. In a world full of chaos, where evil may lurk, he fights for the righteous, his mission and work. Guided by God, with strength from above, he battles the darkness with unyielding love. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. Alpha Red. When the night seems too long and hope seems so far, look to the skies, we'll see his bright star. With a prayer and a promise, he faces the fight. Alpha Red shines through, the beacon of light. Alpha Red, the hero we need. With the power of faith, he'll always succeed. Fighting darkness, he'll never dread. For the world is safe with Alpha Red. So stand tall with courage, let your faith lead the way. With Alpha Red beside us, we'll see a brighter day. For evil may tremble, but never forget, the world is protected by our hero, Alpha Red. Alpha Red. Alpha Alpha Red.